Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to another episode on Northwoods Exploration. As always, my name is Jeremy, and today I am once again coming to you from my home office. It is horrible weather outside currently. 30 to 40 mile per hour winds, blowing snow, blizzard conditions, etc. You get what I mean. I'll probably be showing some video footage of how bad it was last night. Anyway, guys, also, I am wearing an eye patch. I had my retina reattached about a week to week and a half ago. So you'll be seeing this handy dandy eye patch over the next few months worth of videos. So with that out of the way, what I want to talk about in this video are the top 3 pieces of gear that I both liked and disliked in 2022. Let's get to it, guys. Alright guys, so before we get started, a quick little gear check. Today I am wearing, kind of going old school today, I am wearing my G-Shock DW5600, going quite old school. Yeah, I know that's upside down. So that's the watch I'm wearing today. By the way, I took off the regular strap and put on a NATO strap. By the way, these adapters can be purchased online. Link in the description below. Be forewarned, these are an absolute booger to get on. As far as the pocket knife I am carrying today, I am carrying a Spyderco Endura 4. I absolutely love this knife. Purchased this probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And I am not carrying a firearm today, considering that I just had eye surgery about a week ago, and you need to be able to see to accurately shoot and handle a firearm. So, no gun on me today. Do have guns in the house. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's talk about the top 3 pieces of gear. We'll start off with the top 3 that I liked. And first off on that list is the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. The Spyderco Paramilitary 2. So I purchased this Spyderco Paramilitary 2 back over the summer. I made both an unboxing video when I got it in the mail, and I also did a full review. Probably gonna have one link here and another link there, and definitely links in the description to both of those videos. What I like the most about this knife is just the high quality construction of the knife, the very durable construction. It's made with CPM S45VN steel. This is still holding an edge 6 months after I got it in, and I use this for anything from food prep to bushcrafting, even food prep here in the house. Like if I'm wanting to chop up some broccoli, you know, just open up the knife, there you go. This is great for food prep, great for bushcrafting. You can actually use the spine of the knife here. You can actually use the spine of the knife to be able to strike a ferrocerium rod, which is a prerequisite for any knife that I carry in the woods. Keep that in mind. That will be an important point to remember later. Yeah, so this was actually one of the best pickups of 2022, the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. This leads me to the number 2 best pickup of 2022, and that would be the POM Pepper Spray. POM Pepper Spray. So I first heard about this product from Chris over at Lucky Gunner. He did an EDC video, and he talked about how he carried this pepper spray. And I got to thinking, well, you know, I haven't carried pepper spray in a long time, but that's probably a good idea. Now, you might be wondering, why in the world would pepper spray be one of my top pickups of 2022? Well, let me frame it to you like this. According to the Bible, the Word of God, some of you simply refer to it as the good book. The Bible teaches that Christians are to live at peace with all people as much as it depends on them. And the way I take that is I am called as a man of God to be at peace with my fellow man as much as it depends on me. In other words, as much as it is within my power to live a quiet and peaceful and tranquil life, as the Apostle Paul talked about in particular, I need to strive to do so. Now, in the application of self-defense, what that teaches me, and I'll put it this way, the conviction that this leads me to have is that if I don't have to take a man's life in self-defense, I don't want to have to do it. I never want to have to harm anyone, but I especially don't want to take another man's life if I can at all keep from it. As much as it depends on me, I want to live at peace with my fellow man. And the truth is, there are situations where you may need to intervene to protect another person, in which pulling your gun is not really the right and or best option. You know, there are situations where you need to step in and be able to protect someone, but you may not be able to take that person in hand-to-hand combat. That's where this comes into play. If I see an assailant beating somebody, and I notice, oh, well, they've got a cauliflower ear. Okay, well, they've probably been in a lot of fights. They probably know how to fight. From all my injuries in law enforcement, corrections, and private security, I know I'm probably not going to be able to take some guy in a street fight. But if this makes him stop, to where I can protect my fellow man and get that assailant to stop and end the threat without having to take that man's life, that's what I want to do. And that's the reason I carry pepper spray. I don't want to take a man's life if I don't have to. And that just gives me another tool in my arsenal that is something other than the use of lethal force to stop a threat. So, the number 2 pickup of 2022 is the POM Pepper Spray. That's P-O-M, Papa Oscar Mike, for those of you who prefer the phonetic alphabet. And this leads me to the third and final, but definitely not the least of the top 3 pickups of 2022. And that would be this. Let me get the lighting right here. This is a Citizen Echo Drive Promaster. This is a dive watch. As you guys know, I am a certified scuba diver, Exhibit A. But also on the channel, I have several videos of me scuba diving, especially exploring some shipwrecks. And I always carry a dive watch on my opposite wrist. My dive computer is a Suunto D4i, and it works very well. Goes on my left wrist, but I like to carry a dive watch on my right wrist as a backup. Now, for the last year, I have been using this. This is a Casio MD106, aka the Casio Duro. I'm going to see if I can get that to focus properly. This is not an ISO certified dive watch, but it's what I could afford at the time. Plus, they're pretty stylish. They're about 50 to 75 bucks, give or take. But the Casio Duro, I'll call it that instead of the MDV106, because most everybody calls it the Duro. The Duro served me very well as a backup to my dive computer, but with some of the dives that I'm planning later on into 2023, a little bit deeper dives on some shipwrecks, so I wanted an ISO certified dive watch. And so the Citizen Echo Drive Promaster is a dive watch that is ISO certified. It has been used by countless divers, recommended to me by many of the people that I have gone diving with, as well as people in different forums that have much more experience than I do. True, there are better ones that are out there. I do want to save up for a Seiko King Turtle, but I'll say this dive watch, this Citizen Echo Drive Promaster, is going to serve me very well this next year, and I can trust it since it is ISO certified to 200 meters, which I'm not going to be going anywhere near 200 meters. So, top 3 pieces of gear from 2023. First and foremost is the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 POM Pepper Spray. And then the number 3 best piece of gear that I picked up in 2022 is the Citizen Echo Drive Promaster. Now, that's the good stuff. What's the bad stuff? Well, I thought about titling this video The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, but the 3 pieces of gear that really crapped the bed this year are just absolute turds. There is no bad and ugly. It's all ugly in my opinion. So, the first piece of gear that I found to be an absolute piece of garbage in 2022 was the Amazfit T-Rex Pro. The Amazfit T-Rex Pro. Now, you take a look at this, and I don't have it charged up. I'm not going to waste my time charging it. This is going right back in the watch case as soon as I get done with it. Was there anything that I liked about it? Well, yeah, it's great to track your sleep patterns. Really good for that, in fact. Though I did find some variation between my Garmin Vivo Sport and the data I collected from the Amazfit T-Rex Pro. But there's several reasons that I absolutely hated this smartwatch. Number 1 is you cannot answer emails or texts, nor can you answer phone calls. It'll show you have a phone call. You can decline the call or silence it. You cannot answer it through the watch. You cannot respond to text messages or emails. You can only read them. Another thing that I hated about this watch is the fact that it had very little third-party support. This works as a fitness tracker. Love to use this to track my biking in the summer. But does this work with MyFitnessPal? No, it doesn't. Does this work with the Lose It app? Nope, doesn't. Very little third-party support, and so I could not integrate this with my exercise plan and my diet plan through any other third-party app. Probably one of the most frustrating things about this watch is when you have a time change. And there's nothing in any manuals about this. I had to go to a Reddit board to find this info. When a time change happens, this does not automatically update. You actually have to go into your phone settings, turn off your Bluetooth, and turn it back on. Then it will update. Totally ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, there are some good things about this, but I need devices that I can integrate into my life. And I found myself having to make life integrate to the watch instead of the watch integrating into my life. And sorry, I'd rather use my Garmin Vivo Sport that is almost 8 years old at this point than this. This might work for you. This does not. The Amazfit T-Rex Pro does not work for me. Absolute piece of crap for what I need in my life. So, that's number 1. Number 2 piece of crap that I purchased in 2022 is this little ham radio. This is the Baofeng UV59 Plus. This is the Baofeng UV59 Plus. Now this little thing right here was meant to replace the UV5RA, which I have like 4 or 5 of them. Absolutely love them, but they are getting old, and a couple of them are developing some problems. And generally, I think the UV5RA and the UV5RA Plus are really good little handheld transceivers. You can get FM, you can get your weather radio bands, you can program them through an application such as Chirp. I have all my repeaters programmed into my radios. When I saw these on sale, there were 2 of them for $90 on Amazon. And I thought, well, okay, these are the upgraded model of what I've already been using, so I'll just go ahead and get these. Well, the first one lasted for maybe a couple weeks and then stopped working, which is the one I'm holding here. The second one is actually upstairs on a dock on my nightstand. That one's worked okay, but this one doesn't work anymore. There are a few other things I don't like about this. First of all, you have to buy a completely different charging dock. So the old charging docks are completely different than the new ones. They're not interchangeable. And also another thing as well, the batteries that go in the UV59 Plus are not interchangeable with the UV5RAs, but they look very similar. So what that means is I can end up in the woods and I have an extra battery. I think I have an extra battery or 2, but no, I don't, because they're not interchangeable. They want you to have to buy all new stuff. Now, things such as external mics, you know, your longer antennas, stuff like that, all that still works. But I found the reliability of the Baofeng 59 Plus, UV59 Plus, to be absolute garbage. And as far as I'm concerned, this is a piece of emergency equipment. And if this does not work when I need it to work, this may cost me my life in the woods. Just not worth it. So, Baofeng UV59 Plus, garbage. Get rid of it. It's not worth the money you pay for it. Not even worth the shipping to get it to your house. It's garbage. And this leads me to my third and final piece of garbage that I purchased in 2022. Un momento. Coffee break. And that is the Ontario Rat Model 3. Number 1 piece of garbage I purchased in 2022 is the Ontario Rat Model 3. Why is this the biggest piece of garbage? Really 2 things. Number 1, it doesn't hold an edge worth of crap. It doesn't. You'll be sharpening this thing and sharpening this thing and sharpening this thing, and I've tried my whetstone, I have tried an electric sharpener, I have tried one of those handheld sharpeners for in the field. I cannot get this thing to hold an edge for anything. But the number 1 reason why is this. The spine of the knife is so smooth, it will not work to strike a ferro rod. It won't. It just simply won't. It won't work. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to destroy my knives. If I'm in the woods, bushcrafting, you know, most of the time, very controlled environment, I know I'm going home that night. But if I carry this knife into the woods, and I think this is a perfect size, a little over 4 inches, you know, you could EDC this. That's actually the reason I purchased this, is I wanted to EDC a fixed blade knife. Because I do spend a lot of time in the woods, and I do think as much as the Paramilitary 2 is a really good knife for bushcrafting and for being in the woods, I like having a fixed blade. But I'll be honest, my K-Bar Becker 2 is way too big, way too heavy, and I wanted something I could EDC. And so I saw this, and I was torn between this or the SC. Maybe I'll try the SC next, but I thought, well, you know, I've not had any problems with Ontario. I mean, one of the best bushcrafting knives I've ever had is the Ontario Rat Model 1. And I'd recently purchased the Ontario Rat Model 2 for carrying the summer. D2 on both those, by the way. So I thought, hey, maybe the Ontario Rat Model 3 would be just fine. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. It's a piece of garbage. It will not hold an edge. You're going to have to sand down the spine of the knife to be able to have it strike a ferrocerium rod for you. Just not good quality. Just not good. And for that reason, the Ontario Wrap Model 3 was the biggest piece of crap that I purchased in 2022. Don't waste your money on these products, guys. I spent my money, so you don't have to. Alright guys, so that is going to bring this video to a close. I hope you enjoyed it. These are just some of the products that I purchased over the last year that I found really helpful, and some that were just absolute garbage. But tell me what you think. What are some pieces of gear that you've tried over the last year that you've really liked, or pieces of gear that you've found are just absolute duds? Let me hear from you in the comments below. I love it when you guys comment. I love interacting with you. If you comment, I do try to answer all my comments. Sometimes it might take me a little while, but I do try to answer each and every one of my comments, so let me hear from you. Also, let me know if some subjects that you want me to make videos on in the future. I know there are some gun videos that I'm working on also. I've got some bushcrafting videos coming up as well. But let me hear from you. And as always, guys, don't forget to like, share, and definitely subscribe to this channel. Help us grow this channel. I appreciate your support. And as always, guys, come join the adventure. Get out there in the woods. Enjoy nature. And I will catch you in the next video.